गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदीकैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च। मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनं। गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं। गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव। एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि अस्तु so last time
Namaste Bhagini.
Namaste Bhagini. Lakshmi Bhagini did not get a chance to read, so we'll start with her. 26th Shloka Bhagini.
Bhagini. मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैत्यान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते मां च यः अव्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सः गुणान् समतीत्य एतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते पदार्थः पठामि वा
पठतु भगिनि
पदार्थः अव्यभिचारेण व्यभिचाररहितेन भक्तियोगेन भक्तिसाधनेन समतीत्य समतिक्रम्य ब्रह्मभूयाय मोक्षाय कल्पते अर्हति अन्वयः यः च अव्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन मां सेवते सः एतान् गुणान् समतीत्य ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते तात्पर्यं यः मानवः व्यभिचाररहितेन भक्तिसाधनेन च मां भजते सः मानवः एतान् गुणान् समतिक्रम्य मोक्षे समर्थः भवति माध्वमतम् नित्यभक्त्याख्येन उपायेन यः परमात्मानं सेवते सः चित्प्रकृतिवत् विष्णुप्रियः ब्रह्मभूयः भवति व्याकरणं न विद्यते व्यभिचारः यस्य सः अव्यभिचारः तेन नै बहुव्रीहि अस्तु किल भगिनि तत्पुरुषः अपि दत्तम्
तो न विद्यते नै तत्पुरुष न विद्यते व्यभिचारः यस्य सः अव्यभिचारः
यस्य सः अस्ति चेत् बहुव्रीहिः दोषं न बहुव्रीहिः भक्तेः योगः भक्तियोगः तेन षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः ब्रह्मणो भावः ब्रह्मभूयं ब्रह्मत्वम् इत्यर्थः
सो अत्र क्रियापदं किम्
क्रियापदं कल्पते सेवते द्वयम् यः अव्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन मां सेवते
यः अव्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन मां सेवते सः एतान् गुणान् समतीत्य ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते okay so here so he who serves me with unwavering devotion avyabhicharena bhakti yogena with unwavering devotion that person will cross the gunan. We studied about all these three gunas.
Triguna, sattva,
Ah,
rajatama,
sattva, rajo, tamaha. So
rajatama.
all these three gunas can be crossed or can be overcome. And that kind of person will obtain Parabrahma.
Parabrahma, moksham.
Moksham. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He will become, he will attain the moksha by crossing these three, by overcoming these three gunas. And we have studied how the three gunas can have an effect on us. So at the time of leaving the body, whichever guna is predominant, that kind of state we will achieve. So by overcoming that, those gunas, or by restraining those gunas to become dominant, we can attain moksha. We can attain moksha. Okay. Anantaram? Jayaprada garu చదువుతారా 27th శ్లోక? లాస్ట్ వీక్ మీరు చదవలేదు కదా? జయప్రద గారు? ఓకే. తోషాలి భగిని?
आं भगिनि
27th శ్లోక, లాస్ట్ వన్.
या ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखसैकान्तिकस्य च ब्रह्मणः हि प्रतिष्ठा अहम् अमृतस्य तस्य अव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्य एकान्तिकस्य च ब्रह्मणः प्रथम एकवचन हि अव्यय प्रतिष्ठा प्रथम एकवचन
ब्रह्मण.
ब्रह्मणः is of the Brahman. Yeah.
षष्ठी प्रतिष्ठा प्रथम एकवचन अहम प्रथम एकवचन अमृतस्य षष्ठी एकवचन अव्ययस्य च अव्ययस्य षष्ठी एकवचन शाश्वतस्य षष्ठी एकवचन च अव्यय धर्मस्य षष्ठी एकवचन सुखस्य षष्ठी एकवचन एकान्तिकस्य षष्ठी एकवचन च अव्यय पदार्थः ब्रह्मणा परमात्मनः प्रतिष्ठा स्थानम् अमृतस्य मृत्युरहितस्य अव्ययस्य अक्षरस्य शाश्वतस्य नित्यस्य एकान्तिकस्य अव्यभिचारिणः अन्वयः अहं हि ब्रह्मणः प्रतिष्ठा अमृतस्य अव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य धर्मस्य च एकान्तिकस्य सुखस्य च तात्पर्यम् अहं ब्रह्मणः नाशरहितस्य मोक्षस्य शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य दुःखरहितस्य सुखस्य च प्रतिष्ठा अस्मि तस्मात् हेतोः तादृशः पुरुषः ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते इति यन्मया पूर्वमुक्तं तत् युक्तमेव नाहं कदापि असत्यं ब्रवीमि इति विज्ञेयम् माध्वमतं परमात्मा महालक्ष्म्याः मुक्तवर्गस्य मोक्षस्य चाधारः तस्मात् भगवत् वियोगिनीं महालक्ष्मीं प्राप्तः मुक्तः तमेव प्राप्नोति.
So अत्र क्रियापदं किम्?
क्रियापदं नास्ति.
So अस्मि we can take अस्मि as
अध्याहृतम् अस्मि.
So अहम् अस्मि. अहं किम् अस्मि और कः अस्मि?
अहं ब्रह्मणा प्रतिष्ठा
ब्रह्मणः प्रतिष्ठा. कीदृशः ब्रह्मणः?
शाश्वतस्य धर्मस्य
शाश्वतस्य
अमृतस्य
धर्मस्य
अव्ययस्य हा
अव्ययस्य अमृतस्य
हा
एकान्तिकस्य सुखस्य
यस्य सुखस्य च
ब्रह्मणः प्रतिष्ठा अहम् अस्मि.
हम्म
So basically he is describing what kind of what it is that one will attain at the end and who he is. So he is the abode of the Parabrahma. Aham pratishtha asmi. Brahmanaha pratishtha asmi. So what kind of Brahmanaha? Amritasya avyayasya shashvatasya
शाश्वतस्य
dharmasya
धर्मस्य
and ekantikasya sukhasya. Okay?
एकांतिकस्य means
Ekantikasya is only one kind of that atyanta sukham we always discuss, right? So sukham can mean the temporary happiness that one experiences in this world. But ekantika sukham means that which is shashvatam, that which you can obtain
okay.
only through the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Only he who has the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam will have that kind of atyanta sukham.
Okay.
Ananta sukham. Okay? Because
Okay.
that is the reality. The prapancha is asat. So whatever sukham we think we are experiencing is only temporary. It is not shashvatam. Whereas the sukham that you obtain by understanding the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, that will become the ekantikasya absolute, means it is the absolute truth. And the sukham that you obtain through that absolute truth. So there is nothing that will diminish. Once you attain that state of sukham, there is no going back. You will always be in that state of sukham. It is not temporary,
Yeah.
it is permanent.
Okay.
Okay. So with this, we complete the 14th chapter. Would you like to read the last line? Om Tat Saditi.
Yeah. Om Tatsaditi श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे गुणत्रयविभागयोगो नाम चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः.
Okay. So one thing I noticed, can you say the word Brahma?
Brahma means Bhagwan.
No, repeat that word. Just repeat that word.
Brahmavidyayam.
So you are pronouncing her and then ma, like how it is written. But you have to pronounce ma first and her next. Okay, there is a rule in Vyakarana where when ha is followed by ma or na, actually that alphabet should be pronounced first and ha will be pronounced later. But that is the rule of Vyakarana. So here you should not pronounce her first because it is written like that.
Okay, Brahmavidyayam.
No, not Brahma.
No.
Brahma.
Brahma.
Okay, you have to practice that a little bit until you get it.
Yes.
Because you got habituated to say this. So you have to keep it in mind. For that, you have to do several practices.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anantaram. So Savitri Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini. अतः पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः पुरुषोत्तमयोगः. श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखाम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. ऊर्ध्वमूलम् अधः शाखाम्
अश्वत्थं प्राहुः अव्ययं छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यः तं वेद सः वेदवित् ऊर्ध्वमूलं प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनम् अधः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं शाखां द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनम् अश्वत्थं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं प्राहुः प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनं वा
बहुवचनं
धातुः लट् लकार अव्ययं प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन छन्दांसि सकारः प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचन यस्य षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचन पर्णानि प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचन यस्य यस्तं यः तं प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन वेदः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन सः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन वेदवित् प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन.
So Vedaha you said or Veda you said?
Veda.
Veda will be Latlakara Uttama Purusha Ekavachana.
Uttama Purusha.
Yaha Veda Saha Vedavit Bhavati. Saha Vedavit Bhavati we can take as Adhyahritam.
Adhyahritam.
Yaha Tam Veda.
With dhatu.
I think you did not split the Yaha Tam. Yes Tam you said.
No, Yaha Tam.
Okay. So Tam will be Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana.
Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. Padartha. This one is Veda with dhatu va?
Yes, with dhatu.
Okay. Urdhvamulam, urdhasthita paramatma moolam, adah shakam, neechasthita कार्योपाधि शाखम अश्वत्थम संसार वृक्षम अव्ययम अनाद्यंतम प्राहुः वर्णयन्ति छन्दांसि वेदाः पर्णानि पत्राणि वेद विजानाति वेदवित् वेदज्ञः यस्य छन्दा अन्वयः यस्य छन्दांसि पर्णानि तादृशम् अश्वत्थम ऊर्ध्वमूलम् अधः शाकम् अव्ययं प्राहुः यः तं वेद सः वेदवित् तात्पर्यम् अयं संसारः कश्चित् अश्वत्थवृक्षः तस्य मूलं पुरुषोत्तमः सः ऊर्ध्वं वर्तते कार्योपाधयः हिरण्यगर्भादयः तस्य शाखाः अधः वर्तन्ते तस्य पर्णानि वेदाः तादृशः अश्वत्थवृक्षः नश्वरोऽपि प्रवाहवत् अनश्वरः ईदृशं वृक्षं यः सम्यक् वेत्ति सः वेदज्ञः इति कथ्यते माध्वमतं संसारः अश्वत्थवृक्षः इव वर्तते विष्णुः चिदचित् प्रकृतिश्च अस्य मूलं महदहंकार बुद्धि तत्वानि पंचभूतानि तदभिमानि देवताश्च शाखाः छन्दांसि तदभिमानि देवताश्च पर्णानि तदेवं यो वेत्ति सः वेदार्थज्ञानी व्याकरणम् ऊर्ध्वं मूलं यस्य सः ऊर्ध्वमूलः तं बहुर्वीहि समासः अधः शाखाः यस्य सः अधः शाखः तं बहुर्वीहि समासः न विद्यते व्ययः सः अव्ययः तं बहुर्वीहि समासः वेदं वेत्ति इति वेदवित् कर्तरि क्विप् उपपद समासश्च.
So here the kriyapadams are
kriyapadam सः
Prahuhu and Veda. So Yaha Tam Veda Saha Yaha Tam Veda Saha Vedavit Iti Prahuhu. Okay, Iti Kaha Prahuhu? Or what will be said of about him? Tam urdhvamulam adhashakam ashwatham prahuhu. Avyayam prahuhu. Okay. So, saha vedavit bhavati. So, he who knows this fact, he is known as Vedavit. What fact? He
Chandansi
knows.
yasya parnani yaha tam veda saha vedavit.
So, yasya chandansi parnani ashwatham urdhvamulam adhashakam avyayam prahuhu yaha tam veda saha vedavit. Okay. So, basically, here what is being described is a vriksham, urdhvamulam.
Yes.
It is urdhvamulam. What is urdhvamulam?
Root is up.
The moolam means the root part is above. And then all the shakhas are adhomukam.
That sentence is not understandable, ma'am.
That
because
sentence.
how that urdhva in banyan tree, it is okay. The root will come up to the ground level, and there itself it grows in banyan tree. But what this Ashwatha Vriksha is
so
straight
here,
and
so here Ashwatham means Samsara Vriksham. Here they are using Ashwatham in the sense of Samsara Vriksham. And another way to look at Ashwatham is that which does not exist tomorrow, that which is perishable.
Yeah.
Okay, which is Ashashwatham.
Na shvahastaha.
So here Urdhvamulam is considered as the, here it is given, Yasya Chandamsi Parnani Ashwatham Urdhvamulam Adhoshakam Avyayam Prahuhu. So here Ayam Samsaraha Kaschit Ashwatha Vrikshaha Tasya Moolam Purushottamaha. So Tasya Moolam. So here the Moolam is taken as Purushottama, which is nothing but Paramatma. So that is why they are taking the Moolam as Paramatma. Because the root cause of this existence, like how a tree exists only because of the root, like that this samsara exists only because of Paramatma. Samsara in the sense, not just the samsara, the whole life, the Prakriti, you can say.
Yeah.
Okay, the samsara here is referring to in a bigger way. It is not just the samsara that we are involved in, but the whole Prakriti with which we are related.
Okay.
With which we are related to. And what is the source to that? The Moolam. The Moolam is nothing but the Paramatma. Tasya Moolam Purushottamaha. Saha Urdhvam Vartate. Paramatma will always be above everything.
Yes.
So the Moola Karanam, the Moola Purusha, is always above everything. So the samsara that is growing out of this Moola Purusha is, what is it becoming? That is, what is this world that is around us, the samsara. So because the Moolam, we are looking at the Moolam as the Paramatma, it is Urdhvam. Karyopadhayaha Hiranyagarbhadayah tasya shakhaha adaha vartante. So who is, or what is Hiranyagarbha?
Hiranyagarbha means Brahma.
So from where the creation happens, all that creation are the branches of this samsara vriksha. So the creation starts with Hiranyagarbha. So we are, that is what is mentioned here. Hiranyagarbhadayaha means starting with Hiranyagarbha, all the creation that is generating from there become the shaka. All that will become the shakhaha. They are growing downwards. Adaha vartante. Tasya parnani vedaha. And now the branches are explained. The branches will have leaves. And what are the leaves? The Vedaha.
Veda.
So how does the existence exist based on the Vedas? So the leaves help the tree grow. As long as the trees are, the leaves are healthy, they generate food for the tree, right? Only then the whole tree will survive. So that is why they compared the Parnani with Vedaha. Tadrishaha Ashwatha Vrikshaha Nashvaraha api Pravahavat Anashvaraha. So though normally the tree is perishable, but here you can look at it as unperishable. Why is it unperishable?
Anashvaraha.
Pravahavat Anashvaraha. So why, though it appears as perishable, why is it unperishable?
Pravahavat Anashvaraha. Not understand.
Why? Because it is compared to the people tree. The Ravi Chettu, we say that in Telugu. Ravi Chettena, people tree is?
People tree is Ashwatha Vriksha. Banyan tree is Vata Vriksha.
So, yeah. So here it is also said that this particular samsara vriksha cannot be destroyed, or it can be destroyed only with knowledge, only with the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. That is why it appears to be indestructible. So, like how a person who is trying to come out of this samsara dukkham, he never seems to be able to get out of it. How can I overcome this samsara, and how can I get into the path of moksha? That is the question we all have, because it seems impossible. So, and how is it possible? So that is why this samsara vriksha, the ashwatha vriksha, is considered anashvaraha. You cannot destroy it. You cannot destroy the samsara sukha dukkha that is around you. Only with the knowledge of Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, you can destroy it. So why is it being called vriksha? Is because the comparison of, or by using the word vriksha, a vriksha can always be cut off by a khadgam. And so this vriksha is compared to samsara, and by using the word vriksha, it is also being implied that you can still cut this vriksha. With what? With a khadgam. And what is that khadgam? Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. So that is the reason why this is being compared to a vriksha. But this vriksha is different. It is not like regular vriksha. Normally, like you said, the roots grow under and the tree grows upward. But here, what is the moolam? The moolam is Paramatma. So that is why, since Paramatma will always be above, this particular vriksha is Urdhva moolam. Adhashakham Ashwatham Prahuhu. Avyayam Chandansi. By comparing this word Chandansi means the Vedas.
Yes.
That which is in meter. That is how Vedas are also referred to. Yasya Parnani Yaha Tam Veda. So Yasya Parnani Chandansi. All this Yaha Tam Veda Saha Vedavit. Okay?
Yes.
He who knows that as this. Yaha Tam Veda. He who knows that. Okay? About this particular tree. About this vriksha or the ashwatham. He who knows this ashwatham as urdhvamulam, adhashakham, avyayam, chandansi, parnani. He who knows this samsara vriksha, he is Vedavit. So only he who understands this in this way will be able to cut it with the knife of knowledge, with the khadgam of Paramatma Tattva Jnana.
Tattagya.
So here there are some more some vakyani which also elaborate on this. Okay, there are some vakyani. I don't know the source of this, but there are some vakyani which also support this particular shloka. So these are by using the word Ashwatham, all these vakyani are implied. Okay, so avyakta moola prabhavaha tasyaiva anugrahottitaha buddhiskanda mahischaiva indriyantara mahabhuta vishakhascha vishayai patravamstatha dharmadharma supushpascha sukha dukkha phalodayah आजीव्य सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्म सनातनः एतत् ब्रह्मवनं चैव ब्रह्म आचरति नित्यशः एतत् हित्वा च भित्वा च ज्ञानेन परमासिना ततश्च आत्मरतिं प्राप्य तस्मान् न वर्तते पुनः. So this Ashwatham, that one word, is representing a samsara vriksha. That is being described in these sentences. Avyakta moola prabhavaha. So the moolam of which cannot be changed or destroyed. Tasyaiva anugrahottitaha. And from that, and by the blessing of which the growth will happen. Buddhiskanda mahischaiva indriyantara kutaraha. So the buddhiskanda mahischaiva. What it means is by the sthira nischayam, one can grow the trunk of the tree very sturdily. Very sturdily. And you know how a tree can have small holes. In Telugu we call them torralu. So those are the places where the indriyas are there. Even in our body, each indriya has a sthanam. So for example, the nose. It is not the nose or the tip of the nose. It is actually the actual smelling element or the element in your body that helps in smelling is somewhere at the back of the physical nose that we see.
Yes.
Okay, similarly, every indriyam has a place. So, like how they are existing and all these are, they are open to the outside, right? Like the nose, ears, eyes, all these are open, the mouth, everything through which the indriya vishayaha we are able to absorb they are open to the outside world. Similarly, the tree also has some openings. Okay, so it is being compared like that. Mahabhuta vishakhascha. So the shakhas are compared to the panchabhutani. Vishayai patravams tatha. So the patrani, the leaves, are like the different things that are there out in this outside world through which one can absorb. And then based on the dharma and adharma that you do, the flowers bloom. So the good flowers that bloom are like the dharmas. So they give good results. And for whatever adharma that one does, that there will not be any success, right? You will not reap any good result out of the adharma. So there will be on a tree, sometimes there will be some flowers which are deformed, some fruits which never make it to grow and ripe in a good way. So like that. Sukha dukkha phalodayah. So the phalam, depending on what kind of phalam that tree bears, you can decide whether how much of dharma or adharma is done. So the sukhams will tell how much of good that you have done in your past lives or in the previous lives. And similarly, the dukkham, it will tell you how much of sin we have accrued. So that decides, depending on the phalam, we can understand where we stand, right?
Yes.
So ajivya sarva bhutanam, and it is how do you say, this tree shelters so many lives, right? Even in samsara, one person can shelter many other people.
Yeah.
Brahma vrikshas sanatanaha. So this type of samsara vriksham is compared to the Brahma vriksham, means the Paramatma, means it is the result, or the Karana Bhuta is Paramatma. That is why it is existing in the first place. Without the creator, there is no creation. So without Paramatma, there is no creation. So we all are existing because of the Paramatma. So Brahma vrikshas sanatanaha etat brahmavanam chaiva brahma acharati nityashaha. So here, by the usage of this word vriksham, also we have to understand the fact that it can be destroyed. How can it be destroyed? By
Adharma.
hitva chitva bhitva. And with what? Jnanena paramasina. So with the jnanam. Tatascha, and by destroying it with the khadgam of jnanam, atmaratim prapya. One will obtain that atmarati, means that sukham that the previous shloka was describing. The permanent shuka, the atyanta shuka, atyanta sukham. Okay, atmaratim prapya tasman na vartate punaha. He will not exist anymore. In the sense, he will not take another birth. He will be released from the cycle of birth and death.
Moksha.
So
Thank
that
you.
is about this Ashwattham Vrikshaha.
Okay.
So that is how it is mentioned. So why that Urdhva Moolam is? Because we are the Karana Bhuta is the Moolam.
Moola. Oh, okay.
And since it is compared to the Paramatma, it is Urdhvam. Okay.
Thank you so much.
The second shloka. Alivelu Bhagini.
भगिनी नमस्कारः। अतश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखा गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके अधः च ऊर्ध्वं प्रसृताः तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धाः विषयप्रवालाः अधः च मूलाः अनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके। अतः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं च अव्ययम् ऊर्ध्वं द्वितीया एकवचनं प्रसृताः प्रथमा बहुवचनं तस्य षष्ठी एकवचनं शाखाः प्रथमा बहुवचनं गुणप्रवृद्धाः प्रथमा बहुवचनं विषयप्रवालाः प्रथमा बहुवचनम्। अतः प्रथमा एकवचनं च अव्ययं मूलाः प्रथमा बहुवचनम् अनुसन्ततानि प्रथमा बहुवचनं कर्मानुबन्धीनि अपि प्रथमा बहुवचनं मनुष्यलोके सप्तमी एकवचनं। पदार्थः गुणप्रवृद्धाः गुणप्ररूढाः विषयप्रवालाः शब्दादिविषयपल्लवाः ऊर्ध्वम् उपरि प्रसृताः व्याप्ताः मनुष्यलोके मानवलोके अनुसन्ततानि विरूढानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि कर्मानुसारीणि। अन्वयः तस्य गुणप्रवृद्धाः विषयप्रवालाः शाखाः अतः ऊर्ध्वं च प्रसृताः मनुष्यलोके अनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मूलानि अधः च। तात्पर्यम् तस्य अश्वत्थवृक्षस्य हिरण्यगर्भादयः शाखाः याः ऊर्ध्वम् अधश्च प्रसृताः सन्ति अतश्च कर्मानुसारिणः जीवाः अवान्तरमूलानि यानि वृक्षस्य अधः ऊर्ध्वं च विमुखं प्ररूढानि। व्याकरणं गुणैः प्रवृद्धाः गुणप्रवृद्धाः तृतीया तत्पुरुषः विषयाः एव प्रवालाः विषयप्रवालाः कर्मधारयः कर्माणि अनुबन्ध्यन्ते तच्छीलानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि तच्छीलिके कर्तरि णिनि प्रत्ययः उपपदसमासश्च मनुष्याणां लोकः मनुष्यलोकः तस्मिन् षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः.
So here
सन्ति अद्याहृतं स्वीकरणीयम्.
सन्ति अद्याहृतं स्वीकरणीयं. मूलानि सन्ति. कर्म अनुबन्धीनि अनुसन्ततानि मूलानि और कर्म अनुबन्धीनि मूलानि अनुसन्ततानि सन्ति मनुष्यलोके.
सन्ति.
So basically what is it saying is karma anubandhini moolani anusantatani. So this is a cycle. Depending on what we do or what we are today is based on what we did in the previous lives. And again by repeating, and because of the Purva Janma Vasanas, we tend to do certain things, right? We tend to do certain things because of our papam and punyam that we have accrued and the vasanas that we carry. Because of that, we are again doing certain things, whether it is good or bad. Like how we many times discussed, some people are able to do certain things. They have certain talents by birth. How? Because of the abhyasas that they have done in the previous lives. Like say, for example, M.S. Subbulakshmi. She's able to sing like that from a very young age. She was a natural. So how did that happen? How we tell, oh, that person is a natural in dancing or singing or in a game or whatever it is that they do. We say, oh, naturally she's talented in that. Some people, they don't even receive formal training also, but they are able to sing very well. They are able to dance very well. We see that all the times, right? So that is all because of the abhyasa that they have done in their previous lives. Those come back as vasanas because of the abhyasa that they have done and because they are carrying it through at the time of leaving the body also, they have that in their mind. Whatever guna you have, you carry it into the next life. So those gunas are carried on. So that is only what is called the vasanas. Whether it is good also, it will be carried on. Whether it is bad also, it will be carried on. Like some people have unknown fear of things. There is no reason. Fear of water, fear of heights, fear of certain animals, like dogs. Like certain animals, everybody is afraid of. But some animals for which you need not be really that much afraid, some people are very afraid of, like even cockroaches,
Cockroaches, yes.
So that is unreasonable fear, not natural fear, but unreasonably they have too much of fear. That is all again because of the Purva Janma Vasanas. They cannot explain. They didn't have any bad experience in this life. But it is there since they are born. So all such things are nothing but the vasanas from the previous lives. So whether it is good or bad, we carry it into the next janma. So here, karma anubandhini mulani anusantatani santi. So it gets carried into. It is a cycle. So unless one makes an attempt to cut that cycle, that will keep happening again and again. So the karmas that we have accrued from the past lives, they grow like how a tree grows. The roots go deeper, the shakhas go. So depending, if you take a normal tree, depending on how deep the roots grow, that much above the branches also will grow, right? Or how tall it is growing, that much deep the roots also go. Or how much wide it is going, like that. So when you prune a tree, you will know that. When you prune it into a certain shape, even the roots underneath also will behave in succession with the tree. Or depending, some trees are like that, and in other trees, they will grow towards where the water is, of course. And the branches also, they tend to grow towards where the sunlight falls the most. So that also we can take it as like where your vasanas are leading. No, so no matter, say for example, that also you might have come across, right? Like though we haven't seen it firsthand, in the movies they show. So a boy is born or a child is born into a family of thieves. Okay, so the parent or somebody wants to make sure that that child does not become a thief. They will take him far away from that family and grow him somewhere else where he is taught once and again that stealing is wrong. But at some point he will again come back to that point where he shows his origin, right? So those are because of his vasanas, that you cannot break them no matter what. No matter what, sometimes you cannot break it. So you can look at such things. So though he is not used to it, but the minute an opportunity is available, he tends to do that. He tends to do that. So similarly here, like how when the branches are growing towards where the light is falling, the roots are growing towards where the water is there. So like that we can understand that, and the tree will bloom and all. So these we can look at the what do you say, the buds and the new leaves that are sprouting. These are all the things that a person tends to enjoy through the senses, through the indriyas, right? So and with these again they grow again bonds of karma. So this cycle will be repeating once and again until it is broken. And how can it be broken? By understanding, in the previous chapter we have seen, by understanding the nature of these gunas and how it has an effect on on us and how to overcome it. Only through that we can break this cycle. So here what is it saying in the Tatparyam? Tasya ashvatha vrikshasya hiranya garbhadayah shakhaha yaha urdhvam adhascha prasritaha santi. Adhascha karmanusarinaha jivaha avantara mulani yani vrikshasya adaha urdhvam cha vimukham prarudhani. Okay, so basically it is this samsara, or this how like a tree is nourished, like that this samsara is also nourished through the trigunas of the nature of the prakriti. The prakriti itself is trigunatmika. So these trigunas will be nurturing this samsara, the person who is in this samsara. And with that nurturing, we are again creating bonds of karma for ourselves. And that attachment and that everything, the passion and everything. So again, they will follow up, like how the vasanas will occur. So the roots and the branches, like how they grow, depending on what they get. Like that also we can look at it. And they strengthen, like how the roots, as it is growing, the tree strengthens. So similarly, when a person is acting upon the gunas and getting more and more attached to this samsara, that bandham will be growing only, and that karmas will be repeating. So there is no breaking. In that way, this is being compared. So tasya guna pravriddhaha vishaya pravalaha shakhaha adaha urdhvam cha prasritaha. So they grow in all directions. The more we get involved through the gunas into the vishayas of the world, the more stronger we become with the world, with this prakriti. We tend to grow more attached to this world. Manushya loke. And where does this happen? In the Manushya loka. Anusantatani karmanubandhini mulani adahacha. So, like how the roots of a tree strengthen, similarly, a person in this Manushya loka, the karma bandhani The more they grow, the more he gets attached to this samsara. Okay.
धन्यवाद भगिनी.
धन्यवादः भगिनी. अल्लिरानी भगिनी. अल्लिरानी भगिनी, you are there?
नमस्कार. न रूपमस्येक तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलं मूलमसङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन छित्त्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रस्ता पुराणी. न रूपम् अस्य इह तथा उपलभ्यते न अन्तः न च आदिः न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थं येनं सुविरूढं मूलम् असङ्गं शस्त्रेण दृढेन छित्त्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चार्ज्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसुता पुराणी. न रूपं न अव्ययम्.
न अव्ययं
रूपं द्वितीया वित्तीय एकवचनं.
प्रथमा एकवचनं.
प्रथमा एकवचनं रूपं प्रथमा एकवचनं. अस्य षष्ठी एकवचनम् इह अव्ययं तथा अव्ययम् उपलभ्यते. लट्लकार
प्रथमा एकवचनं.
प्रथमा एकवचनं. न अव्ययम् अन्तः प्रथमा एकवचनं. न अव्ययं च अव्ययम् आदिः प्रथमा एकवचनं. न अव्ययं च अव्ययं सम्प्रतिष्ठा
प्रथमा एकवचनं.
प्रथमा एकवचनम्. अश्वत्थं प्रथमा एकवचनं. एनं प्रथमा एकवचनं.
This is द्वितीया एकवचनं. एनम् अश्वत्थं.
एनम् अश्वत्थं द्वितीया एकवचनं मेडम. सुविरूढमूलं द्वितीया एकवचनं. असङ्गशस्त्रेण तृतीया एकवचनं. दृढेन तृतीया एकवचनं. छित्त्वा स्वान्तं. ततः
अव्ययं.
पंचमी एकवचनं.
We can take it as अव्ययम्.
अव्ययं पदं.
We'll see how the meaning also goes. Some based on that also you can decide.
Okay. पदं द्वितीया एकवचनं. तत् अव्ययं परिमार्गितव्यं प्रथमा एकवचनं.
तव्यत् प्रत्ययम्. Here tat also you have to take as prathama ekavachanam. Tat padam.
यस्मिन् गत्वा
यस्मिन् सप्तमी एकवचनं.
यस्मिन् सप्तमी एकवचनं. गताः
प्रथमा बहुवचनं.
प्रथमा बहुवचनं. न अव्ययं निवर्तन्ति प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचनं. भूयः प्रथमा एकवचनं.
भूयः can take as अव्ययम् also.
अव्ययम् मैडम. तमेव अव्ययम्.
तम is द्वितीया एकवचनं.
तम एकवचनं. एव अव्ययम्. च अव्ययम्. आज्यं प्रथमा एकवचनं. पुरुषं द्वितीया एकवचनं.
द्वितीया
एकवचनं. पुरुषं द्वितीया एकवचनं. प्रपद्ये प्रथमपुरुष
उत्तमपुरुष एकवचनं.
उत्तमपुरुष प्रपद्ये. यतः अव्ययं प्रवृत्तिः प्रथमा एकवचनं
प्रथमा एकवचनं स्त्रीलिङ्ग
प्रस्ताः
प्रसृता
प्रथमा बहुवचनं
प्रथमा एकवचनम् only, there is no visarga there. प्रसृता
प्रथमा एकवचनं पुराणी प्रथमा एकवचनं पदार्थः सम्प्रतिष्ठा स्थितिः मध्यः सुदृढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण वैराग्ययुज्येन छित्त्वा द्विधा कृत्वा पदं स्थानं परिमार्गितव्यम् अन्वेष्टव्यं पुराणी प्राचीना प्रवृत्तिः संसारप्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता प्रवृत्ता आज्यं प्रथमं पुरुषं परमपुरुषं प्रपद्ये प्राप्नोमि अन्वयः अस्य रूपम् इह न उपलभ्यते तथा न अन्तः न च आदिः न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा सुदृढमूलम् एनम् अश्वत्थं दृढेन असङ्गशस्त्रेण छित्त्वा ततः यतः पुराणी प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता तम् एव च आद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये इति मत्वा यस्मिन् गताः भूयः न निवर्तन्ति तत्पदं परिमार्गितव्यम् तात्पर्यम् अस्य अश्वत्थवृक्षस्य ऊर्ध्वमूलत्वादिकं यत् स्वरूपं पूर्वमुक्तं तत् केनापि ज्ञातुं न शक्यते तथा अस्य आदिः मध्यः अन्तश्च ज्ञातुं न शक्यते तादृशं येनम् अनिष्टफलजनकम् अश्वत्थवृक्षं वैराग्यशस्त्रेण विनाश्य सर्वेऽपि पुरुषाः तं महापुरुषं ध्यायन्तः तादृशं स्थानं शोधयेयुः यत् स्थानं प्राप्ताः पुनः न संसारं प्राप्नुवन्ति यस्मादेव च अयमनादिः संसारः सम्पन्नो वर्तते माध्वमतम् विकारित्वात् जगत् एकस्वरूपं नोपलभ्यते जगद्वृक्षम् अनुप्रविष्टः परमात्मापि न दृश्यते तदेतं वृक्षं वैराग्यसहितेन ज्ञानासिना चित्वा ततः पुरुषोत्तमः अन्वेष्टव्यः रामानुजे मतम् पुरुषं प्रपच्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः इत्यत्र प्रपच्य इत्यतः इयतः प्रवृत्तिः इति वा पाठः आज्यपक्षे प्रपच्येत्यतः इति पाठः बोध्यं व्याकरणं सुविरूढं मूलं यस्य सः सुविरूढमूलं तं बहुव्रीहिः न सङ्गः असङ्गः नैतत्पुरुषः असङ्गः एव शस्त्रम् असङ्गशस्त्रं तेन कर्मधारयः परि इत्युपसर्गपूर्वकात् मार्ग इति धातोः कर्मणि तव्यत् प्रत्यये परिमार्गितव्यम् इति रूपम् अन्वेषणीयम् इत्यतः
So here न रूपम् अस्या इह तथा उपलभ्यते न उपलभ्यते so it's अस्या रूपं न उपलभ्यते न इह so here what is it being referred by asya is of the vriksham of the samsara vriksham. So the samsara vriksham cannot be the form, the true form of it cannot be understood here. By whom will it not be understood? By a person who does not have Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. It's antaha, it's adihi, na antaha, na cha adihi, na cha sampratishtha. Or where it is rooted. Okay, sampratishtha means where it is rooted, the foundation of that tree. Ashwatham enam ashwatham suvirudha moolam asangashastrena dhridena chitva. So though it appears as though that its form is not understood, One cannot understand its form. One cannot see its ending or its beginning. Even though it appears like that, because of ignorance, this Ashwatham, Enam Ashwatham, Suvirudha Moolam Ashwatham means this Ashwatham, which looks like it is very firmly rooted, can be destroyed. How? Asanga Shastrena. Asanga Shastrena means with non-attachment, with a Shastram, that is nothing but that non-attachment. That non-having the detachment itself is the tool to be used. Dhridena Asanga Shastrena Chitva. What is the next shloka? Tataha Tat Padam Parimargitavyam Yasmin gataha na gataha nivartanti bhuyah tamev cha adyam purusham prapadye. Okay, so through ignorance it appears as though this tree is very firmly rooted and it cannot be destroyed, and one cannot understand it nor see the beginning or ending of this tree. That is how it appears because of ignorance. Though it appears like that, it can very easily be destroyed with the tool of non-attachment. Okay, and that kind of lakshyam or goal should be desired by one who would like to attain the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Okay, so here it is given Asya Ashwatha Vrikshasya Urdhva Moolatvatdikam Yat Swarupam Purva Muktam means like how it has been explained earlier, that Rupam Tat Kenapi Jnatum na Shakyate Tatha Asya Adihi Madhyaha Antascha Jnatum na Shakyate. Tadrisham enam anishtapalajanakam ashwatha vriksham vairagya shastrena vinashya sarvepi purushaha tam mahapurusham dhyayantaha tadrisham sthanam shodhayeyuhu yat sthanam praptaha punaha na samsaram prapnuvanti. So having that as a goal, dhyayantaha tadrisham sthanam shodhayeyuhu. Shodhayeyuhu means we should look for such a path. It will not come to us automatically. We should seek that path. We should seek for that knowledge. That knowledge will not come and fall upon us. We should seek. That is the goal. Parimargitavyam. It should be sought for. That kind of goal should be sought for. Sodhayeyuhu yat sthanam praptaha, then those who will obtain that kind of sthanam by seeking it. Punaha na samsaram prapnuvanti. Only those who seek that jnanam and achieve it will never come back into this samsara. Yasmat eva cha ayam anadihi samsaraha sampannaha vartate. Okay? So, he who seeks for this vairagyam, Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, vairagyam is nothing but detachment. It is not like normally in Telugu, it is used in the sense of a little negatively, like disinterested. It is not a disinterest. Vairagyam is not like lack of interest. It is overcoming the desire. Understanding that whatever we are desiring is not permanent. Whatever we are desiring is ashashvatam. It does not lead us to the atyanta sukham, ananta sukham. By that kind of realization, overcoming it, that is vairagyam. But normally it is used in the sense of as though we don't have interest in it. or totally vexed. It is not such kind of feeling. It is not vexation. It is not disinterested. It is not at all that. It is understanding it completely to the point where we are able to let go. We are able to let go. That also we can see in our everyday relationships. Like sometimes we have this unexplained attachment with certain people, right? But and because of that, we are going through a lot of pain because of because of that. Whether you call it love or control or ego or whatever it is, because of that we are going through a lot of pain. But once we overcome that, understanding the nature of that relation, which is not correct, we have to let go of it. Then it will become easy for us to how do you say? We will not have any kind of pain. Yeah. So there will not be any further pain. We will only understand the situation and work accordingly. There is no pain. Why? Because there is no control or ego or a kind of love that we think is true love. But that is not true love. A true love is the kind of love that Paramatma has. So he does not determine what we should do, right? What we are going to do or what we are experiencing, everything is based on what we have done only. He is only a sakshi. Similarly, we also have to be a sakshi in what is happening around us. We just have to watch, that's all. We should not react upon everything. Only that reaction brings us pain. So that is the kind of thing that we need to understand. So say for example, a person or we had a loss in our business, say for example. So there is no depression. Like we should not get depressed over it. That is vairagyam. Not that you don't have any interest in what you are doing. It is not that. Based on, we are able to understand why that loss has come. Sometimes it could be a decision that we made incorrectly. Sometimes it could be because of somebody cheating us. Sometimes it could be market simply changing. It can be anything. What we should be aware of, we should analyze it. Why this has happened. Next time we will make sure that doesn't happen. Then that loss will not occur. That's all. But just because a loss has occurred, today if we are going to cry over it, what is the point? There is nothing we are going to gain out of it. So by understanding that, everything we do will not be successful. That is what Bhagavad Gita repeatedly says. The phalam is not in our hands, only trying our best. So every time we only need to check if we have done the best that we could do. Did we do it the right way? Did we do it with all our shraddha? Did we do it, without any, as per the dharma? Did we do it as per the dharma? These are the only three things that we need to check. And as long as we have followed this, we should be content. Oh, I've done my best. There is nothing you could have done. I've done as per dharma. I've done as per my Shakti. These are the only three things that we need to check. If that fails, that is not our problem, because we have done all we could have done. If I followed a dharma, then I should feel bad about it. But as long as I have done it the right way, no matter where, even if it is a success and I get a lot of money, I should still have the same state of mind. Even if it goes into a loss and if I lose some money, I should have the same state of mind. Having the same state of mind does not imply that we are not interested in it, but we are detached to it. And detachment, many times people understand it as not having interest. That is also not true. That we need to understand. That part is the toughest part in this world. Practicing that in this world is the toughest part. Because there are always people who try to point it out as though you don't have interest in it. right? And because of that peer pressure, people give in to it again and again and again. And through that, they are suffering. Through that, they are suffering. So that suffering should not be there. And for that, this vairagyam should be developed. So that is how we should be able to develop the detachment. As long as we are clear, I have done all that I could do, my duties, and something which is not your duty, you should have the courage to say no to do that. The society will expect you to do, several people might expect you to do, because they are not aware of the actual dharma or the actual responsibilities and duties of a human, of a grihastha, say for example, because we are all in that grihastha ashrama, and that is where many questions arise. If we take the life of a grihastha, there are, as per the dharma, what he is doing is one thing. As per what the society thinks is the dharma, that is a different thing. Just because the society thinks something, we need not feel obligated for that. As long as we are clear in our mind that we are following the dharma, whether it is our duty or not, as per the dharma, and if we are doing that or not. So, say for example, in the case of a child, so the child is constantly asking to give this, to give that, to do this, to do that, right? So, what is the dharma? Whether we are providing the child with what the child needs to grow in a healthy way, physically and mentally. As long as we are giving that, our dharma, we are performing our dharma. But how is the society today? Only if you give them very too many toys or too many things, or buying too many digital things, only then the world will perceive that you are taking care of the child. That is how the perception is these days, right? So that is peer pressure. We should have the courage to say no to that. We should have the courage to be able to explain to the child also why certain things are not necessary. If it is necessary at school or at whatever level, okay, that is again a big discussion in itself. But what I'm trying to say is there is dharma and then there is peer pressure from the society. That we should have the distinction, and we should have the courage to be able to follow it and be at peace. Sometimes we are unable to follow it, and because we are unable to follow it, we are not at peace, right? So we are not even able to do it with peace. So that is where the struggle is happening. Now some people do it and are enjoying it, so that is again fine. So they are still not they think that is the dharma, to give whatever the child asks for, and they are finding peace in it. So that is fine again, because they are still not at that level of recognizing what is where to draw the line. They are still not at that point where to draw the line. So one way they are at peace, they are still indulging in their indriyas, they are at peace. There is still time for them to come to the next level. If you are completely in the next level, that is also fine. But many times we fall somewhere in between. We know what should be done, what should not be done, but we are unable to do it with courage. We are unable to not to do what the society expects us to do and be at peace. We don't have the courage to say no. Because what will these people think? What will those people think? What will my child think? What will my parents think? So because of all these pressures, though we know certain things, whether to be done or not done, we don't have the courage to put them into practice. So we are not able to be at peace. So in that situation, we should muster up the courage to do the right thing. But we should not take that as an excuse to escape certain things. We should be fair and in understanding what our duties are. We should not try to escape our duties in the name of detachment. That is also again very important. Many people, they feel that leaving the family or abandoning the family in the name of detachment they try to justify that they are doing the right thing. Again, that is also not the right thing. So like that, it is not easy, but definitely, since we have the source, which is the Bhagavad Gita, which is telling us very clearly what are the things that we can do and be at peace, and what are the things we need not do and be at peace. Okay? So that is Vairagyam. To achieve that Vairagyam, that detachment, we should seek out for it, and then we will understand the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Okay. So here, what is this last line? Yataha pravrittihi prasrita purani. So this is Purani is Prachinaha Pravritti, means Samsara Pravrittihi Prasrita Pravritta. So this is there from a very long time, right? But we should be able to overcome it through Parimargitavyam, by seeking for it. Only such a person will be able to achieve the Paramatma. Okay. Next shloka. Surya Bhagini.
నమస్తే మహోదయ. ఇందాక పిలిచారా నన్ను?
లేదు యాక్చువల్గా.
అదే ఇది అన్మ్యూట్ అయినట్టుంది, ఎందుకైందో ఇదేదో తగల అయినట్టుంది.
శ్రీవాణి గారు నన్ను పిలిచారండి.
పిలిచాను, ఫస్ట్ లోనే పిలిచాను.
అవునా, అది మ్యూట్ అయిపోయి రావట్లేదండి, ఓపెన్ అవ్వలేదు.
ఓకే ఓకే, పర్లేదు పర్లేదు, ఇట్స్ ఓకే.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
నిర్మాణమోహాదిత సంగదోషాః అధ్యాత్మనిత్యా వినివృత్తకామాః ద్వంద్వైర్విముక్తా సుఖదుఃఖ సంజ్ఞైః గచ్చంత్యమూఢాః పరమవ్యయం తత్ నిర్మాణమోహాః. నిర్మాణమోహాః
నిర్మాణమోహాః.
నిర్మాణమోహాః. మానం అమోహాః కదా, మోహానే అవుతుంది.
మోహమే, అమోహం కాదు, మోహమే.
ప్రథమ ద్వివచనం,
ప్రథమ బహువచనం.
ప్రథమ బహువచనం. జితసంగ దోషాః, ఇది కూడా ప్రథమ బహువచనం. అధ్యాత్మ నిత్యాః, ఇది కూడా ప్రథమ బహువచనం, అది ఉపసర్గ. వినివృత్త కామాః, వి ఉపసర్గ, నివృత్త కామాః, ఇది కూడా ప్రథమ బహువచనం. ద్వంద్వైః, ఇది తృతీయ బహువచనం. విముక్తాః, ఇది ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం, ప్రథమ బహువచనం. సుఖ దుఃఖ సంజ్ఞైః, ఇది కూడా తృతీయ బహువచనం. గచ్చంతి, ఇది కూడా ప్రథమ లట్లకారం, ప్రథమ పురుష బహువచనం. గచ్చంతి. అయం
అమూఢాః.
అమూఢాః, ఇది కూడా ప్రథమ బహువచనం. పదం అవ్యయం, పదం
ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం.
ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం.
Avyayam also
అవ్యయం కూడా
Dvitiya Ekavachanam.
ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం. తత్ ఇది కూడా అవ్యయం.
Dvitiya Ekavachanam
తత్
kuda
ద్వితీయ
తీసుకోవచ్చు. Tat Avyayam padam.
పదార్థः నిర్మాణమోహాः మహాత్మాన వివర్జితాः జితసంగదోషాः విగతాసక్తికల్మషాः అధ్యాత్మనిత్యాः ఆత్మధ్యానపరాయణాः వినివృత్తకామాः వాంఛాः సుఖదుఃఖసంజ్ఞైః సుఖదుఃఖనామకైः అమూఢాः వివేకినः అవ్యయం అవినాశి.
Bhagini,
అన్వయः
I'm sorry, I am disturbing. Parimargitavyam, what's the exact meaning, Bhagini?
Parimargitavyam is like looking at the goal.
Looking at the goal. Oh.
Or targeting the goal, or anveshanam, like you are searching, seeking is the right word. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Seeking. Thank you so much. Sorry for the disturbance.
అన్వయः నిర్మాణమోహాः జితసంగదోషాः అధ్యాత్మనిత్యాः వినివృత్తకామాः సుఖదుఃఖసంజ్ఞైः ద్వంద్వైः విముక్తాः అమూఢాः తత్ అవ్యయం పదం గచ్చन्ति. తాత్పర్యం येषाम् అభిమానः నాస్తి మోహశ్చ येषु విషయానుసక్తిరూపం కస్మదం నాస్తి ये सर्वदा ఆత్మధ్యానే రతాः సంతి येषां विषयेषु तृष्णा नास्ति ये शीतोष्णयोः सुखदुःखयोश्च निर्विकाराः ते एव धीराः इमम् अश्वत्थवृक्षं विनाश्य तदव्ययं पदं प्राप्तुम् अर्हन्ति. व्याकरणं मानश्च मोहश्च मानमोहो द्वन्द्वः निर्गतो मानमोहो येभ्यः ते निर्माणमोहाः बहुव्रीहिः. संग इति दोषः संगदोषः कर्मधारयः जितसंगदोषः यैः ते जितसंगदोषाः बहुव्रीहिः. आत्मनि इति अध्यात्म अव्ययी भावः अध्यात्मं नित्याः अध्यात्मस्य नित्याः सुप्समासः विनिवृत्तकामः येभ्यः ते विनिवृत्तकामाः बहुव्रीहिः. सुखदुःखे संज्ञे येषां तानि सुखदुःखसंज्ञानि तैः बहुव्रीहिः. न मूढाः अमूढाः नैतत्पुरुषः न विद्यते व्ययः यस्य तत् अव्ययं बहुव्रीहिः.
So nirmana mohaha, mana mohaha nir. So he who is free from moham, and manam is here, we can take it as pride. Moham and pride. He who is free from moham and pride, jita sangadoshaha. Sangadoshaha. Jita. He who has won over the attachments. What kind of attachment? Doshaha. Of the bad or the sins, we can say. And then adhyatma nityaha. Nityaha. So always, constantly in adhyatma. Adhyatma means adhi atma. Adhi in Samskritam, we use that prefix in the sense of near or looking into. So he who looks into the self. That is how the word adhyatma came. Adhyatma chintana we say. So means atma ante here looking into ourselves. Ante constantly looking into ourselves and doing the abhyasa of obtaining the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Only when we observe what is happening within ourselves, how the mind is thinking, where is it wandering, trying to bring it back. All this comes under Adhyatma, looking into the self. That is what it means to look into the self. So Nityaha, constantly looking into ourselves and trying to and practicing the abhyasa, doing the abhyasa. Vinivritta kamaha. Vinivritta kamaha. So the desires, turning away from the desires. Or those who have turned away from the desires. All these are bahuvrihi, right? So those who are constantly looking into their self and doing the abhyasa, those who have already overcome the desires, dvandvaihi. Dvandvaihi vimuktaha. Dvandvaihi vimuktaha. Those who are free from both. Both in the sense here, dvandvaihi means
Sukha dukkha sangha.
which are known as sukha dukkha. Okay, those dvandvaihi are known as sukha and dukkha. Sukha dukkha sangnaihi, which are known by the names of sukha and dukkha. And so freed from the sukham and dukkham. Gachanti. Where will they go? Padam, avyayam. Tat avyayam padam gachanti. And then amudhaha is also there. So those who are again free of the mudha, means they are not murkhas anymore. Means those who have the knowledge.
Here can't we take it as Dandai Muktaha means dual stand.
Dual?
Can we take it
dual
stand?
Dvaidhi bhavan, dual role.
Both,
Double
from
stand.
both sukham and dukkham. They are free from both sukham and dukkham. Right?
It is applicable to Sukha Dukkha. Okay.
Sukha dukkha sangnaihi.
I thought it is dual. Okay.
Dual in the sense the
dual personality.
Dual, double, dvandvam.
That I understood. Dual personality means what? How are you saying that? And what do you mean by saying dual personality?
Personality.
We do it or not.
In this context, dvandvaihi sukha dukkha sangnaihi.
So dukkham,
This is the
dukkham and
visheshanam. Sukham.
So honor and dishonor, like pleasure and pain, somebody who insults you and praises you. These are all opposites, right?
Mana, apamana, everything. Okay.
Like that we have to take. Like and dislikes.
Thank you.
So that is how the dvandvaihi, sukha dukkha sangnaihi dvandvaihi. One will give you sukham, the other will give you dukkham. Like pleasure will give you sukham, pain will give you dukkham. Praise will give you sukham, insult will give you dukkham. So these are the sukha dukkha sangnaihi dvandvaihi vimuktaha. So now these people are free from this kind of dvandvaihi. Okay, so here all these are bahuvrihi words. So nirmana mohaha are people who are free from moham and pride. Jita sanga doshaha, people who have won over their evil attachment with the evil things or the doshas or any kind of bad things. Adhyatma nityaha. They are constantly in doing abhyasa of the self. Means constantly focusing on the manas. We have studied, right? The mananam should be done constantly. Constantly we should keep the mind observing the mind. Where is it going? Bring it back. Where is it going? Bring it back. That kind of abhyasam. When emotions are coming, why such emotions are coming? Understanding the mind and doing the abhyasa so that detachment is practiced. Making sure the gunas are also not going into the rajo and tamo gunam. And if needed, sometimes it is needed, whether it is needed as per the dharma, then it is okay. That you will be able to understand that only through constant observation. So that observation is needed. Okay, so I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying for it hard. So why do I need that job? To feed myself, to feed my family. That is as per the dharma. I'm supposed to do that as a grihastha. So that is fine. Let the mind, let the rajoguna be there for that. at least. Okay, as per the need only. And but if it is going beyond that, it becomes greed. So that again, we should not let it happen. And that happens unknowingly sometimes if we are not observing ourselves. Slowly it will go into that greedy phase. So we have to keep a constant observation to make sure that we are not doing. So like that. That is Adhyatma Nityaha. They are constantly working on the self. Okay, why am I feeling jealous when my neighbor's child got more marks than my child? So that should again, we should observe that. Train your mind not to feel that way because it is not correct. Like that. Sometimes because of the things that we have done in the past or the vasanas from the previous lives, those emotions might come naturally. But we have to use our buddhi to analyze and determine whether we should entertain that or not. That is what the Adhyatma Nityaha do, constantly working on the self. Vinivritta Kamaha, and those whose kamas or the desires, unnecessary desires, okay, are turned away. Amudhaha. So those who are not at all ignorant. So such people obtain the Tat Avyayam Padam. Tat Avyayam Padam Gachanti. Te. Okay. So that constant abhyasa should be there. That is what the gist of all this is. Now we know how to conduct ourselves. We know we are studying. So the next step will be to put it into practice, one step at a time, little by little. And that can happen only through constant observation. So every day we can spend a few minutes towards the end of the day. Okay, what are all the things that I did today? What are the good things? Where did the mind wander? Did I try to bring it back? Did I ignore it? Like that. That constant analysis of our mind should be there. Okay. So we shall stop here today. Bhagini?
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः नमस्कार भगिनी धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः शुभरात्रि
धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः
धन्यवादः शुभरात्रि
Good night.
सर्वेभ्यः
शुभरात्रि